welcome back, y'all. I know, okay, I know I have not been posting as much as I would love to, but you guys, I told you guys in my last video that I've been doing overtime and I finished that, so that's done. But you know, I'm getting ready for Christmas. Like, it's just a lot going on. Like this, I feel like at the end of the year, and I don't know if this is like this for anybody, I'm pretty sure it's not just me. Like, I know it's not just me. It's just like, I feel like once September hits, like for me, it's like once September hits, it is like busy until the end of the year. And I'm only saying that because it's like, my man's birthday is in September, Halloween is in October, my son's birthday is in November, Christmas and New Year is in December. I mean, it's like boom, 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 boom. So now going forward, because before I wouldn't really, like, not to say I didn't care, but I just wouldn't like prepare myself. Like, I wasn't like, okay, you know, let me get ready because I know that, you know, the summer's ending. Now it's like going forward, I'm literally like not playing. Like, I'm going to be prepared, okay? I'm not playing. So anyway, today's video is a little different. It's not a tutorial, it's not a haul, it's a story time. Like, about the time that your girl got arrested. I got arrested one time only. I do not play with the police, I do not play with the law, okay? But your girl got arrested, okay? One time. I'm gonna tell y'all about that. So let's get into it. So, y'all, I got arrested back in 2000. This happened in 2012. So that was a long time ago, okay? I was in college. It was a long time ago. This is how it went. So let's take a trip back to the past. Let's get in our little time machine spaceship and let's blast our asses back to the past, okay? So this is what happened. So back in 2012, I literally was about to graduate college, and well, actually no, I took some time off because I had my son. My son is 14, okay? So I had my son when I was in college. I had to take some time off so that I could get myself together so I can come back to school, get my degree. So, you know, I was like a couple years behind from when I was really supposed to graduate. So during this time, this was during a time that I was like just getting back into school. But like this was like the first year after I was getting back into school, because I had my son in 2010. So you do the math, okay? But I have to take you guys even further back. Like, I have to take you back to 2007. Like, we're just gonna jump back to 2007 for just a second. So 2007, I get to the town where I'm going to school. I'm not gonna say where it's at because I don't want to put anybody on I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus. This is just a story. So I go, I moved to the town because I moved out of state to go to college. Now, when I got to college that year, I ended up meeting a guy, okay? Now, we didn't like start dating right away, which I'm glad we didn't start dating right away, because you're new, like you're just getting into college, and I do not recommend that to any girlies that are just getting into college, going to college. Do not get into a relationship. Enjoy your time, like have fun, okay? Enjoy, have a good time. Do not worry about no boys. And I know that sounds so cliche, but I'm dead serious. Like, enjoy college, enjoy your time. So anyway, I met a guy when I got to school. We started to like, we really were friends. We really set the foundation, like didn't, nothing sexual right away. We were friends for months, for a while, before we took it next level. So started dating, and everything was good. Like, everything was good. We had the foundation of being friends first. So I think that really helped us, like, just helped us in the long run. So we dated, like, I'm not gonna get into like the long-winded end of it, but like to kind of give it like a little bit of speed. We dated freshman year and the majority of sophomore year. So I would say like 80% of sophomore year. We broke up more towards the end of my sophomore year. So we're dating, and then fast forward to the next year, we're dating, and then going into the end of sophomore year, we split. I'm not gonna get into why we split, but it was, you know, it was betrayal. We'll say that. It was definitely some betrayal involved in this story, in that breakup. Which was fine. Now, it wasn't like good at the time, but you know, now that I look back, I'm older, I'm like, okay, that's a reason for a relationship to not work out. When there's betrayal involved, like it's really kind of hard to get past that. Like you can if you want to, like it's not that you can't, but for that situation at that time, at that age, it was good to break up. It was a good decision. So we broke up. Now, prior to us like officially calling it off, it was a very toxic relationship at the end. Not in the beginning, at the end, it got very, very toxic. It got physical. Like, yo, I'm talking about like, I'm not even gonna say, oh, he was beating me and all that other stuff. Like, I was putting my hands on him also. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was fighting. Like, it was not good. Okay, and the thing is, I've never been in a situation like that before, and I'd never been in a situation like that after, because I was like, after that, I was gonna say shit, but after that relationship ended, I told myself, I was like, and this is why I say you either live and you learn, or you keep repeating the same situations. Like I told myself, I was like, yo, I'm never, ever, 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 ever gonna be in a relationship where I feel like I gotta put my hands on somebody, or if somebody even jokes about putting their hands on me or puts their hands on me, I would never stay in a situation like that. And I kept that word to myself. Like I have never been in a situation like that since. So let's just be clear on that. That was a toxic situation, and I was definitely involved. You know what I'm saying? I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not a victim. Okay, let's just be clear. I am not a victim. So one particular night, now this is the night I'm circling back to, is before like the final breakup. Me and this person were kind of like having an argument, and then I had went into the bathroom because where this person lived, they lived in a college apartment. So like everybody in the apartment had their own bathroom. So I had went inside the bathroom, and he was, trying to get inside. And so I was holding the door. He's trying to get inside. The knob of the door breaks off, right? It breaks off. So I'm like, shit, the doorknob broke off. Like, what do you do now, right? So the doorknob broke off. So I don't know, like I never thought anything about it after that. Like we broke up after that. Like I just never thought about the doorknob again. Like, and I'm stressing the doorknob because the doorknob is very important in this story. So it's gonna come up again in 2012, believe it or not. The doorknob, okay? So the doorknob broke off. That wasn't even like the final breakup day. Like that was just us having an argument, having a little tussle, a little door action. We broke up after that. I don't even know. Honestly, I can't remember like how far back, like how long after that we broke up, but I know we broke up shortly after that door situation. So that's it. We're done. We broke up. We broke up in 2009. We started dating in 2007, right? So keep track. Started dating in 2007, broke up in 2009. Not a long relationship. You know what I'm saying? Not college vibes, like not a deep situation. So we broke up. Like he was a few years ahead of me. He graduated, he moved back home. I'm still in the city. So I still have I still have college. Like I'm still in school. I end up having a kid. What's crazy is he ended up having a kid too, like around the same time. We end up having kids with different people, right? Life is going on. Like no one is, it's moving. Like life is changing. Things are different. So let me tell y'all, this is when the story starts. So now fast forward from 2009. Now, mind you, after the breakup, we were not cool right away. Obviously, it did not end too well. That makes sense. It didn't end too well. But as the years go on, we ended up, obviously, you know, Facebook is there. Like, so that keeps people connected. So that keeps people like able to have access to you. Eventually, him and I squashed like our beef, right? Because now we have kids and like things are differently, and like we're not, there's really no like reason to have drama. You know what I'm saying? Because now like it's just, life is different. It's not how it was when we were dating. So y'all, let me tell you guys what's happened. Okay, let me tell y'all. So this is in 2012. I'm going now. At that point, I have my own apartment, I have my car, I have family in Atlanta. I was going to Atlanta all the time, like all the time. I was taking this drive, like, I mean, it wasn't every weekend, but it was like out the month, maybe 2 weekends, 1 to 2 weekends out the month, I was going to the A. Because I was like 4 hours away from Atlanta. So it was nothing for me to take that drive. Like, you know, that was easy. Like, and I used to go there and I used to have so much fun, and I used to drive myself right back. Like, I just was doing that drive like it was nothing. I gotta take a sip because this gets a little crazy. So one particular weekend, y'all, let me tell y'all. This was in June of 2012. Y'all, when I tell y'all I had my hair done, I had my makeup done. No, I didn't have my makeup done, but you know, well, you get the drift. Like, I was ready. Okay, I was ready to go have a good time. But I had my hair done, I had my bags packed. I you know, juiced up my car, I had my gas in my car. I mean, I was ready. Like, I was literally ready to go. Like, I was ready to go. I get on the highway. I'm like 30, 40 minutes at the most on the highway. Like, I'm not that far from where I just came from. And I get pulled over for speeding. Now, I wasn't mad about the speeding thing because I'm like, okay, obviously it's like a pain in the ass to get pulled over. Like, you're trying to get to Atlanta, like what's going, you know, you trying to get there. So I get pulled over and I'm like, okay, a ticket's nothing. Like, it is, you know, I'll take a ticket. Like, I'm trying to get on my way. I'm trying to get on my way. So the cop, like, you know, I'm just thinking it's nothing, it's a ticket, blah, blah, blah. Now, mind y'all, my father is a police officer back home where I live, where I'm from, okay? So I don't really play with the law. Like, I'm really not kidding. I really don't play with the law. Like, I'd never been in trouble, never got arrested, never had a warrant, never had nothing. So the cop comes back to the car, and y'all, let me tell y'all, he goes, "You have a warrant in your name." I'm like, a warrant in my name? Like, I'm totally confused because I'm like, I've been driving to Atlanta like all this time, like never got pulled over, never had no issues, never had nothing. Like, I could not believe what he was telling me. Like, I was like, can you go run my name again? Because that just doesn't make sense. I was like, look, my father's a police officer. I'm not trying to say like trying to use that, but I'm just saying, like, I would know if I had a warrant or something. Like, I would know if something was up. Like I just was so confused. So he's like, look, I can't really get into the information right now. You're gonna have to get more details down at the station. So I'm thinking in my head, like, okay, so Atlanta's done. Like, I'm definitely not going to Atlanta. Like, that's really a dub. Like, that's not happening. So I'm like, so what happens now? Like, my car just sits on the highway. Like, what's going on? He's like, no, we're gonna have a tow truck come and tow it, and then when you get to the jail, they'll give you more information, and you can go from there, and then you can bail out. Like, even tonight, like, you can bail out tonight. If you can't bail out tonight, then you're gonna go to jail, and you can, you know, you can bail out. Y'all, I could not even like think straight. I was so, like, my mind was just going crazy because at this point I'm like, why am I going to jail? Why do I have a warrant? Like, I just could not understand like what was going on. So I get to the jail, you know, they're fingerprinting me. I'm like, wow, I'm really a criminal. Like, and they're over there doing my fingerprint. I'm over there like handcuffed. Like, the cop was cool, but he was still like very much like, you don't want to get pulled over in that town. Like, very much sundown town, like vibes. Like, that's what I was getting, but he was cool. Like, it was weird because it was like, okay, you're cool, but I just don't like this situation. Like, it did not fit. I didn't feel like, I don't know, I wasn't like comfortable 100%, if that makes sense. But anyway, I can't do nothing about it. I'm going to jail. My car is on the highway. It is what it is. I can't do nothing about it. So I get to jail. whatever. They're fingerprinting me. And then he says a name, and we're just, what are we gonna call this person? Let's give this person a name, because I'm not gonna name them what their name is or anything close. So we'll call this person Tyrone. We're gonna call him Tyrone. So they're like, hey, do you know a Tyrone? And I'm like, I ain't heard this name in years. Like, I mean, years, right? So I'm like, yeah, I know Tyrone. I know Tyrone. Why are you telling me about Tyrone? So the cop is like, yeah, like he filed a police report against you back in 2009. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, he's like, it's so crazy. Like, you never got pulled over? And I was like, no. And he's like, you never got in trouble? Like, you never been. And clearly he could see that I've never been in trouble, because he could see my like record, whatever. Like, he has access to that. So he's asking me these questions, and I think he was asking me that because the warrant must have been out for so long, and I just never got it. I never got pulled over. I never got like nothing. Never had any interactions with the police. So he was just very surprised that the warrant was like still active for so long, and I'm just getting in trouble. Like, I'm just getting pulled over for it, or just, you know, just having to deal with it. So I was like, no, I never knew nothing about it. He was like, wow. He was like, yeah, he filed a complaint against you, and I guess when he went to the police station back in 2009, he gave them like my apartment address that I was living at the time, but I had moved out of there. Like, so when he filed that complaint, I probably moved out weeks after that. So I never got any letters. I never knew nothing. I never knew anything about this. He never told me that he did that. Like, I never knew anything about it. Y'all, I called that man from I'm gonna say prison. Okay, I called that man from jail because I still knew his number. And the reason why I knew his number, because I mean, shit, it was in my memory. Like, I just knew the number. So I called him from jail because they have my phone. So I could only remember, there were certain numbers that I could remember. So he was one of those people. I knew that number. Okay, I called it enough times to remember that number. Y'all, I called that man while I was in jail. I was like, okay, first of all, I'm in jail because of you. Like, he's like, jail? I'm like, you filed a complaint against me? And he's like, oh shit, oh my bad. Cause we were cool, like, you know what I'm saying? He would hit me up about baby stuff. What do you feed your baby? Like, you know, asking me about co-parenting things. Like, we were good at that point. We weren't friends, you know what I'm saying? We didn't talk every day. I would not say that we were not friends, but we were cool because, like I said, we had kids now. So it wasn't any beef. Like, it wasn't any problems. Y'all, this man was like, well, you know, don't worry about it. I'm not going to go to court. Like, I mean, that's old. Like, he's like, I'm sorry. I did that. Like, I told him you broke my door when we was having that argument. Told y'all the argument about the door. So I'm like, you filed a complaint against me, meaning that you gave these people my name, probably my date of birth, my address, phone number. Like, I could not believe it, y'all. I was so pissed. Like, I could have took that speeding ticket and ate that. Like, that would have been nothing. Like, okay, yeah, it's a pain to get pulled over to get a speeding ticket, but I'm like, you really went to the police and really gave them my information because you were mad? And I know you weren't that mad about the door. Like, we both were pulling on that door. You know what I'm saying? That's why it broke off. So I'm like, if that was my door, I would have just, you know what I'm saying? I would have ate that, paid it, whatever. Like, did what I had to do. If I knew a handyman, tell him to come in and fix it. Like, you know, I just could not believe that man went to the police station. Like, that's the type of revenge, like, mindset that he was on back then. And, like, granted, it was now years later, but, like, I still couldn't respect that because I'm like, after everything that we, like, went through together, like, being a toxic ass couple, which that was the case. Like, it was toxic on both ends. I never thought to myself, I'm gonna go to the police and file a police report. That never crossed my mind because I'm like, if you go to the police, like, that's a serious thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're being, like, there's cases and scenarios when you should go to the police, absolutely. But when you're involved and you're being toxic too, when you're, you know what I'm saying? You're not a victim. Like, you're both over here causing problems. Like, no, like, that's not, I couldn't believe it. So that's when that's what happened. I got arrested, called him from jail. He was all, you know, my bad. That was really his response. Y'all, so fast forward, I ended up having to call this guy I was talking to. I don't want to say homeboy because he wasn't really a homeboy. I was actually talking to him. And I called him and I told him that I was locked up. So he came to the jail and he actually had a spare key because I gave him one, which was actually a good thing. That's why I say everything happens for a reason. But he had a spare key to my apartment and I gave it to him. And then I was telling him, I was like, yo, because I had money that I had saved in my closet. Like it was like a wad of money. I told him where it was. Y'all, I had to use all that money that I saved up to get out of jail. Like, it was insane. Like, I couldn't, like, my whole day, imagine your whole day just changing. Like, everything you thought was gonna happen was not gonna happen. And I'm glad, and the only thing is, like, I'm glad I got pulled over close to, you know, where I was coming from, because it was like, you know, I wasn't, like, in Atlanta or like close to Atlanta. Like I was close to where I was coming from, so that was only the good part. So he came there, bailed me out. I had to go to court. That was the thing. I still had to go to court because of the situation. Went to court like the first time. They were like, oh, we're gonna continue it because this man wasn't coming. I knew that. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know that, but I knew he wasn't coming because he told me he wasn't coming. So I'm like, you know, I had to go to court like 3 times. They kept continuing for him to show up. And I just, every time I would go to court, I'm like, he's not coming. Okay, this was revenge. Like, he's not coming to court. So finally, on the last court date that they gave me, they dismissed it and they let it go and it was done. Like, it was over, it was done. I didn't have to worry about it no more. But I was like, this dude really got me locked up. Like, and then even when I went to the jail, like actually not the jail, the court, they were telling me like, yeah, we sent you letters. We were letting you know what was going on. So like, I could have, like, if I would have got the letter, I would have knew what was going on. But because I had moved out of that apartment, like a month after he might've filed that, like I moved out soon after he filed that complaint. I never got the letters. I never got notified. I never got anything. So I never knew that he did that. And I didn't get pulled over until 3 years later. Was it 10, 11, 12? 3 years later. Ain't that some shit? Okay, so your girl went to jail. Okay, I went to jail for maybe like 5 or 6 hours. It wasn't long at all. I was damn sure not staying the night. Okay, and I have not gotten arrested since. And it was such a hassle because I really got to see how the system works and how like messed up it is and just what people go through. Like, yeah, there's people that really do shit. Like, okay, I get it. But there's people that like the petty shit. Like, this was petty to me. Like, I felt like I didn't even belong in that courthouse. I was like, I walked in there like, oh no, this is not for me. Like, what am I doing here? Like, what is going on? It was so embarrassing. Like, it was so uncomfortable. It was so embarrassing. But you know something, I learned a valuable lesson. Like, just don't be in toxic situations like that. Just don't. Like, you just never know what somebody will do. And this is like something that was done on the low. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't never even threatened, oh, I'm gonna go to police, blah, blah, blah. I never even knew about it. Like, never knew about it. Life was going on and I'm thinking like, you know, I'm about to get a speeding ticket. Instead, he serves me a big fat warrant. Like, you're going to jail. Like, you're not going to Atlanta, you're going to jail. Okay. But anyway, I had to tell y'all that story because I was talking about it the other day and I was like, that's a good story time. Like, your girl went to jail. Okay. I went to jail. So hopefully y'all kept up with my story because it was a lot. I hope you guys are having a good holiday. I will be back. We're back in effect. No more overtime. That's over for now. So I just wanted to check in with you guys. I miss y'all. Make sure that you hit that like button. Make sure that you subscribe. And I will see y'all in the next one. I'm out.